Hello, and welcome back to Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa. I'm still Rosa in the year of 2023.
That leaves me as being Sharyn, still Sharyn.
Well, I just want to let y'all know, since we haven't changed in 2023, we still say
You're getting us.
Rosa and Sharyn. But thank you and welcome back to our channel. We appreciate each and every one of you all. Each week you come, we look so forward to just giving you all what we have in our conversation for the week. So before we get into what we're going to be talking about this week, we have to do our shout outs. Oh, wait, before even shout outs.
No,
let's just do the announcements. You have any announcements?
No.
Okay, so last week I told you all that I would be in
New Orleans.
From the 15th or the 16th through the 19th. So I have one subscriber that will probably meet up and have
coffee, tea,
or even lunch with her. So I'm looking forward to meeting our subscriber. Sharyn and I always love meeting our subscribers.
Yes.
And you know, just not to put any skin in the game or anything like that. It really is just to meet our subscribers. And
truly,
we appreciate you all. So I know some people reached out under other circumstances, but anywho, so
what does that really mean? What does that really mean?
So with that being said, since we don't have any more announcements, we are gonna do shout outs. So our first shout out goes to Yvonne A. It's been a minute since I've heard from you, I believe, unless I just haven't seen a recent anything from you. But we still appreciate you being a subscriber and your comments. Portia D, where are you?
Where you be?
It's been a year or so. No, I'm just kidding. But thank you for being our subscriber. And last but not least, A. Woodard. Thank you, and thank you too for being a subscriber to Conversations with Sharyn and Rosa.
Yeah, we do appreciate it.
Yeah, we
really
do appreciate you all, and that's why we try to get to each and every one of your names, just to know that we appreciate you, and yeah, we think about you each and every week.
And when you guys, take the time to, send a message or share some additional thoughts on the subject and connect and all, it makes us know that, like, hey, you know what I mean? You hearing it, you seeing it, you liking it, and of course, any conversation can take you further down, in a different direction and all, but we appreciate it, so we take the time out of our day to get back to you.
Absolutely.
And if we missed anybody, it's my fault. Okay? My fault.
She trying to do better in 2023. So let's get into today's conversation.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about label-free lesbians.
Whoa, you mean they do exist? What?
Well, we're going to tell y'all that they do
LFL?
Because you're looking at too. Exactly.
Yeah, label-free lesbians. I was not always one, but I am a convert. I am now a label-free lesbian.
Yeah. So
how did that happen?
Outside of just being a lesbian, because that's a label in itself. But, then we have all these other added names to what lesbian is, because a lot of people sometimes don't fit in a certain box. So we'll let you start with
more or less. And so yes, Rose and I have long before now had many conversations about this, and you guys know, you've been looking at the show, you see the dynamics. Rose and I are products of two different generations. We are 17 years apart, and I came out early and was in the streets of Philadelphia by the age of 16.
In them streets.
And if you can't pronounce it, in them streets.
In them streets.
In them streets. But I was in the streets at a very young age, and knowing who I was and who I thought I was, I just knew one simple thing about myself, which is that I love women. But one thing I do identify as old school. Why? Because I'm old.
And she's been schooled.
Right, but I am old school, and I came, I was a product of the 60s and 70s, and like I say, out there already and having fun. So today's topic, as we said, it's like label-free lesbians, and I think that has come as a product of the fact that that our as we are become more and more acculturated to the gay life, we feel to put more addendums or, well, well, I'm that, but I'm not this. Okay, I'm gay, I'm black, and I only date brown women, but I'm also a vegetarian. Well, okay, what group do we put you in? So having followed the need to self-identify, in my day, it was just like, okay, she's a lesbian, one size fit all. If you like women, you go in the lesbian tent, and that's it.
Well, it really wasn't. Was it called lesbian? Though?
Well, we were lesbian. Like, I'm just saying. I mean, well, they said some unflattering things, but
inside the family, you all were lesbians. Outside that family, you all were dykes and butches.
Oh, absolutely. Like we can make anything sound less than wonderful. You know what I mean? So yeah, definitely, I knew I was a lesbian, but like into the outside world, more or less growing up in the '60s, not to mention inner city, goddamn dykes, or worse, So I do like the fact that so many things have evolved in the last 30, 40 years. Now I'm 50, and it's, to me, I find it beautiful. But as I say that, I do feel that sometimes it's just too much. Mm-hmm. It's just too much for me. Why can't I just be a woman that loves women? You know what I mean? And they say if I had to self-describe, and it's just, I'm just Sharyn. Well, we think you a lipstick butch. We think you butch, but kind of light. You butch, but you don't like sports. Oh, you going to throw me out the lesbian club because I don't do football and can care less? You know what I mean? So I feel that we need to be careful that we don't put ourselves in corners that we don't even belong in. Right. Because each person is unique. Right. But we're saying that as we upload it, before we go any further, that's just my opinion. Rosa may have a different one or slightly different, whatever. But as Popeye would say, I am who I am. As simple as that. So, so then, you do the research and not to mention all the information that you have, because if you've been living in this world and you've been out there in the streets, you've met a lot of, it's a heck of a continuum out there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And like I say, we're not one size fit all lesbians. Well, she's rather butch. What does butch mean? You know what I mean? What's the difference between a butch and a stud? And she's a femme. And then they even break it down to, well, chances are if you're African American and Latina, Latinx, please don't let me mispronounce it. But if you come from a different culture, chances are you do, if you will, make a difference. You do, what I want to say, disseminate between who's butch and who's femme, because in our minds, and I'll say I'm part of them, or used to be, is in our minds it's just like, well, two butches can't be together. Mm-hmm. Well, why can't two butches be together? Right. And then when I was dealing with white women, I've been through the whole
rainbow,
the rainbow before we were calling it rainbow. So I was definitely introduced to different cultures, different women, different flavors, and all of that. But I didn't understand why we had to pick sides and go into a corner with it. You know what I mean? I'm black, but I only date white women. I'm a lesbian, and I don't like men. I'm a lesbian. I've been with a man, but I didn't like it, so now I'm strictly what. It's so many slices.
Right.
And it's puzzling.
Looking it up, wasn't it over 400 or something like that?
Oh, it was one paper had said that it was over 91 types of lesbians. Somebody else said 40. Someone else said it was a top 5. So the top 5, just for the basis of this conversation with you, is that the top 5 was it was butch, femme, lipstick butch, stem lesbian, and it was chapstick lesbian. So if someone's giving you a questionnaire, which circle do you color in? Right. You know what I mean? And sometimes I've been a bit of all of them. And I just rinse it down to like, hey, I'm just Sharyn. So if you're butch, chances they see it as being much more male connected, that you are a woman, but you identify with the maleness and male characteristics, and if you will, a little bit more tougher on the outside, little hard crust. You know what I mean? As opposed to being femme, and femme would say would put you in, and usually this is in the Black and Latina community. So if if you're femme, well, you're definitely a lesbian, and you enjoy being a lesbian, but you just like responding to the feminine side of yourself, and that's how you display yourself and, as they say, present yourself to the world. Then you have the lipstick butch. The lipstick butch, and it's like she's butch, but she has a softer side too. She's butch, but she's not wearing flannel every day and chopping down trees. I'm being dramatic just for the point of the conversation. And then there was a stud lesbian, and this is where I got confused, because all butches aren't studs, but all studs are butches. Or did I reverse that? I don't know. Y'all done went too deep for me. I'm 67. I'm still just trying to hang on here.
Exactly.
All I know is, at the end of the day, I like women.
Yeah.
And I married one. You know what I mean? So,
absolutely.
So the purpose of today's conversation is, how do you self-identify, and why?
Yeah.
And is it that big of a deal to you or to others, or there's times when I've been around, if you will, mixed company, and that was like, there was femmes, there was butches, and hey, look, the butches were so butch, they scared me. and I'm fearless. I mean, they scared me. I just don't. I don't present that way. I don't think I do, and it doesn't. I'm not gonna say it turns me off, but I don't get it. I don't get it for me. I love being a woman. I love women, and I love women who look like women. Right. That's me. That's Sharyn talking. That doesn't go for any of you, because I know y'all gonna blow us up with some responses, because I'm not poo-pooing butch. Every good household needs one. But it's just that it just doesn't work for me. And it's seemingly for my life, the older I get, the softer I've become.
Yeah.
But I never was. Hey, I didn't do the handshakes and.
When I met you, I never thought you were butch. I have to say that when I came out at 40, 39-ish, but when I came out, I really thought that you just go with whoever you like. So whoever that person displayed themselves as, then I just assumed that if you vibing, then you hook up. Whether it was two femmes or two butches or femme butch, whatever. You like who you like. You know what I'm saying? And that person, I just didn't think about labels. I never even thought about labels. I just thought about who I like.
Yeah.
And sometimes it probably could be a butch person, a butch look, as we say, or it could have been all femme. It just was who I like. But when I met Sharyn, I didn't see you as butch, or I didn't even know it was a thing called soft butch or lipstick butch, or I just saw you as a person.
Butch, right.
And, when we had gone out for dinner, and the more I'm speaking to you, it's like I didn't even to say that you were even a butch would have been far from my mind. Far from my mind. I never even put a label on anything like, oh, she a butch, I want to be with her.
I tell you this, when I met Rosa, in my mind she was nothing but femme, and I was digging it. Now, where I got a little I'm not gonna say confused, but couple of things made me look again. She's also very athletic. She can tumble-salt, she runs, she double dodges, she can do a lot of things, because that's just who she is. But when she told me she had played football before, I'm like, what? You know what I mean?
Nobody can believe that story.
No.
I'm trying to tell you.
I don't even look at football, but let's play it, right? So it's like, the girl I'm dating plays football. Yeah. So that was a learning piece for me. You know what I mean? She just.
But when you met me and you saw me and just my everyday, way of living, you would have never even probably pictured me as playing football.
No.
Or any sport.
No. Matter of fact, I was wondering. Well, matter of fact, one of the first time when we were our early dating, I looked at her and I said, "Wow, she really does her makeup very well." I'm just giving her high praise and everything, because that's what I saw. In the last 7-8 years. So I had to do some rethinking because in my mind I had a certain paradigm in my head, and that was that you're either you're butch or you're femme. And Lord knows there's 19 steps in between, but that's just how simplistic it used to be for me. When now, the butches are looking sweet and the sweet girls are trying to look butch, and I don't know, who are you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I can make the argument for, let's not put a label on it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I mean, that doesn't go for people who, if you like labels, you like labels. If you're looking for a certain type, I've seen people, on different social medias, say they looking for butch or looking for femme, or
right.
I don't date this and I don't date that. So some people do like those labels, and that's okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm just poo-pooing it for me.
Yeah,
and labels do give you some idea. I mean, it's like when you're shopping, non-fat, no salt or whatever. You would like to know what you're getting before you
right.
purchase it. But with people, I think we all, everything just doesn't fit within the color lines.
Right.
And then there's some people who purposely stay outside the color lines, which is fine with that. But it's, I think sometimes we miss some wonderful opportunities just because of our own prejudices or, our own delay in looking at something. You can look at the same thing just with new eyes.
Yeah.
And
you're right when you say we're looking at our, we have our own prejudices, which probably is true. But the thing about it is, when we were looking up, or when you were looking up, and they had 99 or 40 or whatever different labels.
Get out of here.
And it's probably because a lot of people go through and say, oh, that's not me, and then you come up with your own.
Yeah.
Then you got to add that, so now it's 100. Mm-hmm. So I think the list will probably get longer as we go in society, but just think about a community where no labels are there.
Yeah.
Everybody is just everybody.
Yeah.
And I just think that would be a wonderful thing if we can just even get past, and I'm not trying to flip the script, but just get past the racism and say everybody is just everybody. People are human. We're not looking at you for the color.
Call you human.
I'm not looking at you because you're a butch or femme or whatever. I like who I like. And when, I met Sharyn, it was like I never even put a label on her. And the sad thing is, when I did come out, years ago, I was dating this femme woman, and I remember a friend of mine invited us to a play, and we both showed up, dressed up. We both in dresses, heels, and blah, 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 blah. And her sister, who was also family, I guess she must considered herself a stud. I'm not sure.
Right.
I'm not sure how that was then, but she's the one that made the comment. She was like, how two femmes together? And I'm like,
yeah, right.
What is that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, my ignorance was really like on
display. Right, right.
And then I thought about it when we got home, and I was just like, so okay, when she looks at me, she assumes I'm a femme. When she looked at my girlfriend at that time, she assumed she was a femme. So
in her mind, the two couldn't be together.
Right.
Right.
And I'm just like, but we mesh, and we didn't, but we thought we did.
Right.
We meshed and we got along, and we, you know what I'm saying? So it was a relationship, and you do what you do, and you're with who you're with.
Right.
But if she had been a stud, if she was still who she was, I would have been okay with that too. Like, I just don't get it, and I'm not putting down anybody.
No, we're not
who likes
it.
Label.
No,
if that's what you want to do, that's what you do. But as of 2023, Sharyn and I are gonna be. Well, I've always been label free.
Right. But then again, you were formerly identified as a straight woman too, married to a male. And so I can't be totally convinced that none of that has touched you. Or, you bring all of that with you. And it's just like, hey, I'm just Rosa. Yeah. Yes, I'm a mother of two. Yes, I was once married to a man. But so we're a combination of so many things, so many experiences, so many tells. And as we live on this planet day to day, I just feel that as a younger woman, not that I saw myself as butch, but I was clumsy. I have a natural.
You was clumsy?
I have a natural clumsiness. I mean, I can trip over dust. It doesn't matter. I'll trip over it, you know.
Yeah.
But she must be butch because no femme will act like that. I used to wear heels, and then it just didn't make sense anymore. And I said, let me just wear comfortable shoes that complement the outfit. So and then I remember years ago, this one woman said, "Girl, there's no way in the world you can be a lesbian because you wear lipstick." I was like,
is that all it took?
Right. You know what I mean? See, well, that was just how simplistic it was in her head. You know what I mean? Butchers don't wear makeup and femme women do. Well, you are going to be taken for a ride when you go to Hollywood. Yeah. You know, but we have to make sense of it in our own minds, and some things just have a certain order with people. Right. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, if you're a masculine looking man, well, then you got to be butch. Yeah. You know, I don't want you over there crossing your legs and putting on, you know, false eyelashes and trying to give me the come hither look, you know, because you masculine. You got to be a butch guy, you know. So we do the same to women, too. So the purpose of today's conversation is, do we really need all those labels? Right. Do they work? Are they working for you? And what would you change if you could? If you can just say, hey, I'm going to do some labels. I'm just going to rewrite a few things. And what would your labels say? Right. And I'm just saying, I'm just sharing. Right. I'm just sharing, and all that goes with that.
Yeah, and I think we, too, also allow society to dictate who we are, like our narrative. And we, as a community, needs to change that. You know what I'm saying? Like, where do these labels come from? Because somebody on the outside doesn't recognize who we are, just gives us a label, and we're okay with that.
Right. Or don't know where to file it at, as a friend of mine would say.
It's like, no, boo. That's not who I am, and you don't get to define me.
And you know, there's several pieces and slices of the cultures coming together. So, you know, some of these things pertain to Black and Latina communities. You know what I mean? I tell you what, when I was dating white women years ago, no shade, and just having a wonderful time in my life, I was saying to myself, like, why don't they trip the butch femme thing? Right. I've never had a white woman ask me whether I butch or femme. Right. You know, because evidently it didn't matter to her. I was a nice person and we're having dinner.
And that's just it.
Right. I'm a nice person and we're going to go to the show.
No matter what you on the outside, because, I mean, don't get me wrong. All of our prejudices come into play when we are meeting people. You know what I'm saying? You do the scan, and whatever that is, you make your assumptions based on what you see.
Yeah.
And so society is saying, okay, if you got short haircut, a buzz haircut, you got to be gay, and that's not necessarily true.
Right.
But I have to say that when I see two gay women together, and if they both have buzz cuts, the first thing I'm thinking is like, well, okay, are they both considered butch? You know, you automatically put them labels on you. But, you know, we have to, as we said last week, change our thinking and our, you know, mindset. And, you know, try to not put that label on them, because I you know, my prejudice does get in the way when we're looking at each other. But if, you know, we decide to just be label free.
Yeah, imagine that.
We are free.
Well, or as I say, as is. That this is Sharyn as is. Or one woman said, well, I think you're nice, but this is when I was internet dating, and she says, well, could you self-describe as far as, you know, physically? I said, well, I'm heavy set, I'm definitely overweight, but I'm at Weight Watchers and I'm working on it. And she just thought that was so delightful. But she didn't say how much overweight. All right. Now, if you have issues with that, you probably wouldn't be talking to a person who had problems with it, right? A buddy of mine, and this really did happen. She was seeing a young lady, and before they started seeing each other, the woman had told her, she says, well, I would describe myself as a little thick. And the woman said, well, okay, I can deal with thick, because Serena Williams is thick, Oprah Winfrey is thick. Well, not lately, because Oprah is really looking great. She done lost 40 pounds. Girl, love my Oprah at any size, you know, as is. So her attitude, so the woman who was telling her about herself, and she says, well, you know, but I'm still athletic. They finally got to meet each other. The woman was a size 7X. That's large, ladies. That's very, very large. She said the woman was so big that she had trouble getting her out of the seatbelt, you know, and So what does that mean? So if you're a person who's really physically fit and run 4 miles a day and only eat, you know, stuff that comes from the, you know, the virgin forest or whatever, you know, you probably wouldn't call her because you have issues with, you know, you want to stay physically fit, and you might not be attracted to someone who's not only not physically fit, but who is morbidly obese. Yeah. So what label would the woman have given herself?
Yeah, but that's a good story, especially when you're talking about, you know, just being label free. Because when someone says, describe who you are, give me, you know, your take on you, and you see yourself in this light, but somebody sees you in another light.
In a whole nother light.
Maybe the girl does not. Maybe she used to be an 8X and now she's a 7X, and she feels like she's a lot smaller,
right,
which is fine, and that's how she sees herself.
And that's when you came into her life. Well, I'm a 7.
Right, exactly.
X, yeah.
So when we, you know, whether you're big, small, you know, lesbian, non-lesbian, lipstick, whatever the label is, or you're giving yourself, or society gives you, let's just not have the labels. If you see her as a big woman and you don't want to date a big woman, then just don't date a big woman.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Let's just not put the label on.
But
Why she got to be a size 4 versus a size 7X?
Right.
If she's still the same person mentally,
right?
You know, and if you vibing with that person, if she says she's still athletic, she probably may be able to play tennis better than, you know, a size 6.
Yeah, perhaps.
You never know.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I just think we give ourselves, we put ourselves in these boxes, and we give ourselves all of this, these labels, and we let society dictate, you know, who we are. It gets
define us. Yeah,
and
define
that's why
us.
We got so many different labels. Why is there so many different labels? Lesbian is a lesbian. You like women. Yeah. You're a woman who like a woman.
Right. Okay.
Now, if you don't describe yourself as a woman who like a woman, then that's a whole nother segment. But we're talking about lesbians who like lesbians.
Right. And there's therapy on the weekends. No, but but you're absolutely right. You know, and like I said, and once you do put people in a box, what happens when the person don't match the box?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
or grow out of the box.
Yeah, and change, because change is inherent.
I've seen that happen. I'm like, wait a minute, I saw her last year. She was wearing dresses, skirt, and everything tight. And then you see her this where she got baggy, looking like, you know, she, you know, now shopping on the men's side of the section.
Wait a minute, and got a mustache that wasn't there before.
Right, which is her prerogative. And then you're just like, hold up, but that's who... They may have changed. They may have looked at the box and erased all the lines on it. Like, this is not who I am. Let me step outside of this. And that's okay.
So please don't go away thinking that me or Rosa, you know, that we're not poo-pooing the not, I don't want to say stereotype, but we're not poo-pooing the label thing. But sometimes it's a disservice. Because if you do say, I don't like people who are from Jamaica and got green eyes, well, the love of your life could have just gotten away from you because she is from Jamaica and she does have green eyes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it happens. It happens every day. Yeah. It really does.
I just think we look outside too much instead of inside.
Inside. And I like what you're saying, just the idea of it. Like, why don't we look in? Well, we don't see in first. We see the outer.
Right.
And I will tell you this.
And that's just it. That's why we need to, regardless of what the outside looks like, give the person a chance. Because, like Sharyn just said, you could have just been missing the love of your life.
Yeah.
Just because your idea of having this, you know, beautiful or stud woman on your arm, just you can't get that out of your head. So you don't miss. And then and that's why a lot of us are probably by ourselves. We're just letting, you know, other things get in the way when that person that you're describing that you like is not in that particular box.
Yeah, and I like when I was dating years ago. They, you know, like people try to hook you up, and I was like, well, hey, what does your aunt do? You know, I mean, I'll date your aunt if she mess around. You know, so I'm open-minded. You know, don't be mad if I come into the family. You know, but you know when people, well, describe Sharyn. Oh, Sharyn crazy. Sharyn from Philly. Sharyn does comedy. Sharyn does this. She was in the Navy. Whatever 20 things or 10 or 4 things you would say about me. So this person already got some ideas what a Sharyn would look like.
Right.
And I've been on more than a couple of occasions. People have told me like, you're not what I thought a lesbian would be like.
Yeah.
What the hell does that mean? You know, because they're living in their box, you know, or, you know, they say, well, I would invite you, but you ain't going to be dressing funny, are you? That kind of, no, I probably can outdress you. But where are you coming from with that? Because in their mind, they're dealing with labels, and they know some woman who knows some woman who went with a lesbian, and she was really dyke-like, and they didn't like her, and they, you know, things went wrong at the family reunion. Well, sweetie, I am not that person.
Absolutely.
I talk in complete sentences. I'm known to have good manners, and I assure you, I will not embarrass you. At my point, at that time, this time in my life, I'm more concerned with somebody embarrassing me. Sharyn, was that your date? Oh my God, where'd you get her from?
I don't care about that type of stuff. If I'm with somebody, I could care less what they look or what people think about them. But I wanted to say,
I have had moments I can't explain.
I wanted to say something regarding what you just said, because when they met you and said, you're not what a lesbian, you know, I thought a lesbian would be. And that's just like, outside of that, I've had people just with my name alone, you know, say, oh, I didn't know you were a black woman. I know when I went on maternity leave, when I was working my job in DC, I was on maternity leave, and we hired someone new while I was gone. And then when I got back, she was like, oh, you're Rosa? She was like, girl, I thought you was a Latina woman.
Yeah.
You know,
or whatever, anything but black.
Just because of my name alone. And I'm like, and I was just like, okay.
Yeah,
you know, I am who I am.
And it's not an insult, but it's just what she's expecting. Because in her mind, she'd already formed whoever this person is.
Since I've been here in California, I've gotten the same thing. So it's like we just form our own, you know, biases, I guess you can say, and just not think about, okay, you know, let me get to know the person. Let me know who they are first. Let me, you know, okay, her name may be Rosa. I know this, you know, she self-identifies as a woman. You know, you going with Rosa name, I'm assuming you.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, it's just, you know, we put a lot of, you know, skin in the game too.
Yeah, we do. But
we just need to learn to be free. That word free is
it's universal
humongous.
Too. Right,
you know, that's a big word. With just the 4 letters, it's humongous, and it's like, let's just be free.
Well, and in that freedom, the freedom to be who I am, and how all of this affects you and how you express it, that's your right to do it, you know. But how it affects me, I present this way. I present Rosa. You know, I remember I'm old school, so there's something that still bleeds out into it, and that is like when we going somewhere, more or less going somewhere nice or to a party or get whatever, and I always ask Rosa, what you wearing? What you wearing?
I know, and I used to be like, okay, but I'm gonna wear what I want to wear. She used to be, when we first met, you know, she wanted to do the matching thing. And I'm just like, suppose I don't feel like wearing my blue skirt today because you got a blue shirt on. Like, some days I do, some days and it's not like, I just want to be free and put on what I'm feeling comfortable. Each day is a different day for me. So I can't wear the same thing every day. And
I don't ask you to, but no, I just want to know. I just want the heads up on like what you're wearing, because what I'm wearing, first of all, I didn't own one pair of jeans when I met Rosa. So I only bought a pair just to let her know I could wear one. But so with Rosa, I just want to make sure that we're not clashing, because maybe she wants to wear her high heel boots and her blue jeans today. I was wearing a 2-piece suit and a nice silk blouse, you know, and I'm like, you know,
But that's okay.
It is okay.
We're 2 different people. We're still together. We still love each other, and we're still gonna be married, walking in, regardless.
Yeah, but that's some of the stuff that's you know that's a holdover from a different time and all, and I'm not poo-pooing it. And it's what I'm used to.
I didn't come from that, you know. Even when I was younger, and you know, when we were with my biological mom, she used to dress my sister and I alike, and I used to be like, I don't even like what my sister have on, you know.
And y'all only a year apart.
Right, and we're not twins. It's like, why do we need to have the same outfits on? We're 2 different people. So, you know, whatever. I mean,
so you're talking about as far as being
I just was never
individual.
Into it. Like, I mean, there's gonna be days where I want to dress like Sharyn or have the same color on, or you know, but today may not be.
She's gotten better with it.
But today may not be that day.
Yeah,
and be okay with that.
Then I would go so far as to, even if you don't know what you're wearing, I've gotten you something. Wear this. You know, look, oh babe, here's 3 dresses, and neither one works for me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And she's like, right, yeah, and I will continue to do it too. Cause sometimes, because I know we dress how we feel.
Yeah.
You know, like I ain't feeling that black suede jacket, so you don't wear the black suede jacket. But I'm like, you know, I'm getting dressed up like we're at our reception, our wedding reception, and Rose is like, back up, babe, you putting too much on it. You ain't got to do all that.
We're going to the backyard of somebody's house. You tone it down.
Oh gosh, yeah, and she would get on me and say, you always overdress, and I don't mean to, but then I had to look at it. Oftentimes I do. You know what I mean? So working through this, together and separately, and as you know,
and getting past
as a couple, we get past the I don't want to say the silly stuff, but the stuff that because it doesn't matter to her doesn't mean it doesn't matter to you.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So
and we just allow one another to have our individuality.
Yeah,
we're who we are.
So
when you're talking about labels and being free, it's like, just be you and be the person you're going to be.
So what does this all have to do with labels? I mean, labels is on everything. And even if it's not a label there, you put one there.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Because my thing is just the fact that I'm saying when people who I haven't met before, so this is my wife, I want you to, I want you to be like, yeah, and she looked good. You know what I mean? Because I'm not, I ain't going to be with no troll. Nothing against the trolls. You know what I mean? But you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I want us to look our best and present well. You don't have to present butch, whatever. And quite frankly, like I said, the older I get, I think the softer I have become. Because I used to be kind of hardcore about some things, not in my dress or action, but in my thinking.
Yeah.
In my thinking. And someone had asked me, and I'm just going to answer this as we move along, but someone asked me, was I attracted to butch women? And I'm saying, I'm sure I have been, but in my relationships, I've only been with one certifiable butch woman, and she was so butch that she would stand up to pee. So this is there's no litmus test about, well, you're too butch or you're not butch enough or whatever, though some women who are very, very femme have told me that I was too femme to be butch and not butch enough to be butch or some crap. I'm like, well, what does that mean?
Right.
Or one lady, I mean, we were on a date and she says, I've noticed that you can put your lipstick on without the benefit of a mirror. Don't tell me that you're butch.
But one of the things I like about us too is the fact that we don't put each other in that box. For instance, some people in the household, if the butch is the butch, then that's the man role, quote unquote, and they take out the garbage, they wash the car,
right, fix the door hinges,
go on the roof, and do all of that. It's like whoever in our household can do it, we do it.
Right.
So Sharyn would take out the trash, so will I. Sharyn will wash a car, so will I. Sharyn probably won't get on the roof, but I will.
Nor should I.
I'm not going to be, in my heels getting on the roof. No, but I enjoy just dressing up with all of the things that, quote unquote, a woman, supposedly falls under that. Heels, makeup, whatever.
Yeah,
I just enjoy,
you do.
looking like I want to look.
Yeah, but on the same token, if it ain't a heels and makeup day, you gotta put your ball cap up because we need to pull all these weeds up and stuff, and you know what I mean. And that's neither femme nor butch. It's just something that's got to be done.
Exactly.
Rosa doesn't cook every day, and neither do I.
Right.
As I tell her, in my retirement years, I did not dream of running home and fixing the little dinner for my sweetie.
Right.
Honey, you want to go out to dinner? Works for me.
Yeah. So we're saying, today, just, think about, the way we think about stuff.
Yeah, think about the way we think about it. Yeah.
And just try to, if having labels make your life easier, definitely continue on with the labels. But if it's just going to make your life less easier, then just think about getting away with labels. Let's just do away with them and not allow people to,
dictate. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly what our community wants and stuff.
And if you're getting what you want,
free.
If you're getting what you want and you like what you see and y'all working it out, work it out. Because, and later because sometimes I listen to the chatter of friends, you know what I mean? I say, what is it they have? What is it I have that they don't have? I'm happily married.
Absolutely.
And we're working it out.
And just be happy and free.
That's
all I can tell you.
So, and if that rinses down to being a label-free lesbian, albeit. So today, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're going to leave you with. Can't wait to see the feedback. I want to hear from my butch women, my friends and all. And I love femmes.
Yeah.
I love femmes too.
I don't think they're butches anymore. I think they're studs. But it's okay.
Well,
whatever label y'all have.
Yeah, but it's a cultural thing too, because like I say, white girls usually don't fall in that. To me, when I see white girls together, oftentimes they both got on flannel shirts, and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah,
but that's our stuff going into
those and it's
things.
Working for them.
But we're not going to get back into that. We're just going to say, be free.
Right, be free, and if you want to, be label free. So
exactly.
God bless you, and like every week, we're always wishing you the very best
of all good things. Stay safe and stay woke and be free. We love you.
Ta-da. Bye-bye.